Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the YouTube channel and to the various journalisms of William Olson Patreon. We're here to do a special video podcast, as we do every month. As we've been doing it for the last few months now. It's been going very well. Longtime subscribers to the Patreon will know that I do a trivia column every at the end of every month, based on the writings over the course of the previous 4 weeks on the various journalisms of William Olson Patreon. This is an example of this month's trivia column right over here. Hope you can see that on the screen. Peekaboo. As I will read to you the trivia questions, and we're going to analyze the answers to the trivia. All right, so December's, we're into December. This is from the month of November. Any sort of violence, and it wasn't hard to come up with 10 questions over 8 articles this month. Trust me on that. Anyhow, here we go. For the, as me in my semi-casual Hawaiian shirt will help read out and analyze the answers, the questions and the answers for you. Okay, number 1. What number has the Morrison government placed on an announced intake of skilled migrants and international students to fill available jobs across a range of several industries? Is it A, 50,000, B, 100,000, C, 200,000, or D, 250,000? Well, I can tell you that not quite 250,000. The correct answer is C, 200,000. And it's a combination of, this is taken from the latest investigation feature by yours truly with regard to filling job area quotas and the debate as to how to do it best, whether it's a case of the aforementioned skilled migrants and international students, on one hand, what the government wants to do, or as the unions keep pumping up, we've got somewhere between 1.9 and 3 million unemployed and underemployed people already living in this country, and put money back into TAFE, put money back into the VET scheme. So you've got the two sides at loggerheads as to how to get that done. And I did about 1,500 words and the rest of it on that investigation. Now, that leads straight into question number 2. Who was the LNP government minister who made that announcement? Is it A, Peter Boofhead Dutton?
Well, that's Mr. Boofhead Dutton actually won his defamation case.
Thank you, Jen from the Peanut Gallery. Anyhow, he may have won that defamation case, but as the truth is my defense, I rest my case with what I'm saying. Boofhead, a.k.a. Darth Tater, bring it. Sue me. I need the money. See you in The Hague.
Fight me.
Was it A, Peter Dutton that introduced that announcement? B, Alex Hawke, C, Barnaby Beetrooter Joyce, or D, Ann Rustin? The correct answer is B, Alex Hawke, seeing that he is the minister, for that particular portfolio with regard to immigration. And now we go into question 3. Who said it? The first, there are a few who said it's this month. I'm concerned about the level of community concern, because people feel that they make complaints and they don't go anywhere. So whether you're a veterans group or a multicultural group or an individual that has raised an issue, I think we need to look into what these people and these groups are saying. Was it A, Ida Buttrose, the chair of the ABC, B, LNP Senator Andrew Bragg, C, Paul Murphy, who is the chief executive of the MEAA, or D, Michelle Rowland, who holds the communications portfolio in opposition with the Labour Party? The correct answer is B, Andrew Bragg, and you can tell just from the content of that quote that he is just another liberal who is doing the dirty work of the IPA and their agendas to get rid of or at least privatize the ABC. Question 4. As the glasses come back on. Who said it? Public interest journalism is a public good. It informs and entertains Australians, ensures the public's right to know, and holds the powerful to account. If we want that to continue, then there is no time to waste to address the many challenges facing those working in journalism and the entire media industry. Was it A, Paul Murphy from the MEAA, B, Marcus Strom, also from the MEAA, C, Dr. Jim Stanford from the Center of Future Work, or D, Paul Fletcher, who is the government's communications minister, representing the Liberal National Party? The correct answer is B, Marcus Strom. Now, I mentioned in the previous question, Murphy is the chief executive of the MEAA. He oversees the whole of one of the unions that I am a member of. But Strom, he is the one specific to everything having to do with journalism and the media specifically. And he said that it was a quote featured in the other investigative feature that I did this month about how public interest journalism needs to be defended and enhanced in light of all the cuts and strife over the last 15 years. Let's get into question 5. True or false? Federal Parliament has added to the 6 recommendations from Kate Jenkins's Respect at Work report and updated legislation on gendered workplace health and safety since its original form was passed in September. A for true, B for false. Unfortunately, the answer is B. In spite of the fact that the ACTU on a couple of occasions over the last 4 weeks has tried to right the wrong, to get the hard, admirable work of the nation's Sex Discrimination Commissioner, who works for the Australian Human Rights Commission, Kate Jenkins. There are 55 recommendations for the uninformed. The federal government in September enacted a piece of legislation even carrying the name Respect at Work. Only adopted 6. It's still 6. In spite of the advocacy of the AAHRC and the ACTU. Question 6. Which company in the trucking and logistics sector has not, I repeat, not, agreed to new EBAs through the Transport Workers Union, the TWU, that guarantees job security among a range of other entitlements? Is it A, Linfox, B, BevChain, C, FedEx, or D, Star Trek? Well, Linfox and BevChain reached their EBAs within the last couple of months. Star Trek, a fortnight ago, a little over a fortnight ago, agreed to theirs. So the correct answer is C, FedEx, a company which the TWU and the ACTU have joined in on the rhetoric as well, describe as an industry outlier. Those words coming from both Michael Caine from the TWU and from Sally McManus, National Secretary of the ACTU. Question 7. Okay, speaking of Miss McManus, another true or false? When according to ACTU President Sally McManus, the proposed agricultural visa will leave skilled migrants worse off in terms of exploitation issues than they were under the previous skilled work visas, or a range of them. Is it A for true or B for false? Well, I can tell you that the premise of the language of that true-false question is true. However, it's a bit of a trick question. Just to see, test you to see if you know your stuff. wrong person. Right organization, wrong person. It was actually ACTU President Michelle O'Neill who came up with that warning, and which also, and mentioned it in an article, also mentioned it in the newsletter that I just published just a short while ago. There could be slavery type conditions attached, to the language and the subtext of that particular scheme. And that's why the union movement is dead set against it in particular. It's worse than any of the previous visa schemes over the last number of years. That was question 7. Here we go to question 8, the third from last. Okay. When ACTU President Michelle O'Neill gave testimony to the Senate Select Committee on Job Security, which senator chairs that panel to which she is addressing issues and concerns? Is it A, Tony Sheldon from the ALP, B, Matt Canavan from the Liberals, C, Maureen Faruqi from the Greens, or C, Jess Walsh from the ALP? I'll tell you what A and D have in common. Both of them are former union leaders. Tony Sheldon was Michael Caine's predecessor with the TWU, and Jess Walsh is originally from the United Workers Union. I mention that because we can throw out B and C. We all know that all 4 of them happen to be on this Senate Select Committee into job security, but it's neither Canavan nor Faruqi. The correct answer is A, Tony Sheldon. Question 9. At the recent National Forum on Workplace Sexual Harassment, Kate Jenkins, the Sex Discrimination Commissioner for the Australian Human Rights Council, revealed that repeat offenses of sexual harassment were occurring at the same workplace at what nearest approximate rate? All right, so I've got a bunch of round numbers here. You tell me which of the round numbers is closest to the actual figure. Is it A, 20%, B, 30%, C, 40%, or D, 50%? Well, quoting the article, the actual number, are you all sitting down for this? Repeat offenders at any particular workplace with regard to sexual harassment incidents, 49%. So there is a 1 in 2 chance that if one incident occurs in Exhibit A as a workplace, there is a 1 in 2 chance that another incident is going to occur also at workplace Exhibit A. Pregnant pause to mean, let that settle in for a moment. All right, final question. And it's a who said it. And this is from one of my investigative features. Business lobbyists will claim these people don't have the necessary skills, but might that have to do anything with the death of apprenticeships? Nice little rhetorical question. Who said it? Was it A, Daniel Walton from the Australian Workers Union, B, Dave Noonan from the CFMMEU, C, Michael Wright from the Electrical Trades Union, or D, Michelle O'Neill from the ACTU? It was Walton. Answer A. That's the Who Just Said That podcast for this month. Hope you enjoyed the trivia. Continue to support my Patreon. If you're viewing me on the YouTube channel, hit that damn bell, subscribe, so you get all the updates on my YouTube channel. I'm going to try and do more videos, more than just the once a week promo for the I Just Said That podcast. I'm going to try and do this for this particular monthly feature, any sort of investigative feature that I'm doing, and anything else that happens to strike my fancy. And these will be rebroadcast onto the Patreon and put up on the socials, on the Twitter, on Instagram, a dedicated Instagram account that I have for this. on the LinkedIn, and yeah, on on the YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed our little dissertation this week. Complete. With a blow straight at Mr. Boofhead. We'll see you next time.